Hi guys, so today we're in a Bentley Bentayga, the four-wheel drive. This is 68. It's a stunning vehicle to be in. It's the SUV positioning, but with the Bentley luxury. First of all, I just want to start us off, just before we start the video, I just want to show you the key. I think the key is really special with this car. It's a real, especially compared to Bentleys of old, it's a really, really nice, modern key. So this is the key for the thing. I just think it's really is a special, nice, chunky key. So let's take this Bentayga for a spin then. This is, I think it's about 540 brake, 0 to 60 is 4.5 seconds, about 780 newton meters of torque. It's a real powerful, I wouldn't describe it as a car, I'd describe it as a machine. This thing is just, you know, considering we're in an SUV here, the speed of the thing, I mean, I know we've got sort of your Cayenne Turbo S's with 3.5 seconds now to 60, but the power and speed of this thing, they do various different engine options. They actually do a 3 litre, because they do a hybrid version of this as well. This is the 4 litre petrol engine, so this is really, they do a quicker one, but this is really the daddy of them, really. This is the one to go for. This has only done 18,000 miles. It's 2018, 68 the year. And inside, I've done the video of the Bentley Flying Spur, so you can have a look inside. Not a Bentley of old at all, it's only a few years old, but just very traditional inside. Whereas I think what Bentley have done with this vehicle is they've stepped it up in terms of, if you watch that video, what I pointed out was that everything was very traditionally Bentley inside and very understated, and there wasn't a lot of gadgets and technology readily available to see. Really highly specified car, and especially when you come to the rear and the reclining seats and the rear entertainment in it and stuff like that. So it was a really nice car, full of spec, but not in your face and not sort of screaming like a Range Rover does, but look at all these buttons and knobs and touchscreens everywhere. Whereas with this, they've made things a bit more readily available. I really like the gear shifter in this thing. It's sort of you don't click it into place. It's sort of you hold the Bentley B down, which you do in the Flying Spur as well, and you nudge it into the thing, and then it returns home. And it's a really nice feel. It's something to hold on to while you're driving along, and you think, yeah, this is a nice place to be. There's less plastic in this one than in the Flying Spur, which I think is nice, because at the end of the day, we're in a Bentley. We want to feel like we're in uber luxury, and you know, we've got that. The switchgear on the steering wheel, the way that everything's covered in leather and wrapped in leather, and there's a black gloss finish on most of the dash. There's no wood in this model. The leather is a black leather, and it smells like leather. I think part of the issue with modern luxury cars now, I say luxury, sorry, I mean more modern cars that are around sort of 30 to 50 grand, are nice looking cars. They've got the sort of vegan leather, for want of a better term, so the man-made leather, the article leather, which looks nice, and I suppose to the average person, would they know that it's not leather? I don't know, but there's a real difference when you get a proper leather seat, and the main one is the smell. The smell in this car of the leather is just really nice. Similar to the new shape Range Rovers, the facelift Range Rovers, which happened on the L405, but at around the 18 model year. We've got the frameless rear view mirror, which I think is a really nice addition. And it's just, again, like I said with the Range Rover SV autobiography that I reviewed, it's the look of it. I don't really use a rear view mirror. I've got my wing mirrors, I can see perfectly fine through them. I don't need a rear view mirror. But it's the look of the thing. This frameless mirror just looks really nice. And again, what we noticed with the sun visors, they're very thin. They're almost too thin, but I suppose, why do some mirrors need to be really thick and clunky like you are in most cars? They're thin, they're finished in the highest quality of leather. We've got a massive pan roof in this thing. It's an opening pan roof with a sun blind. The engine noise, considering we're driving a 4 litre petrol, alright, we're not driving a diesel, we're driving a 4 litre petrol that's really powerful and sounds really tasty on the outside. Considering we're driving that vehicle, on the inside it is exceptionally quiet. When I put my foot down, it really picks up. It really does pick up, and you can hear the engine when you do that. You really can hear it spinning up and pulling into life. That 4 litre, you really do hear it grab hold and thrust you forward. But just driving along, it's just so effortless and comfy, and just just sort of glides down the road. We're on air, as you'd expect with something of this value. I mean, we're talking, this vehicle new, I think, is about 133,000. This one in particular has got about £20,000 of extras on it, which, you know, as with sort of the likes of Porsche and other prestige marks, that they do sort of tend to charge you for a lot of things. So most of the extras on this car are chargeable extras, but it's just, if you're sort of spending 133 grand on a car, what's an extra 20? Do you know? What's 20,000 between friends? And I think that's what's nice about it. I think that, you know, someone's thrown 20 grand at a few extras on it. I think it really has sort of enhanced it. I'd imagine you could spend another 50 very easily. And it's got, the other thing I quite like is I had this with the Bentley Flying Spur. So with the Flying Spur, the mirror controls, the wind mirror controls were in the centre near the gear shifter. On this one, they're on the door actually, but the controls for the heated seats are further down in the door pocket. And I just think it's just subtle differences like that make things just, that's quite nice. Again, we've got that Bentley clock in the middle. I presume it's a Breitling. It's not the Breitling name, but it's got the Bentley on and when it was established. And actually, we're in 2020 recording this video. Bentley had their centenary year last year. So Bentley was 100 years old last year, and they've done some rather special concept cars to sort of mark that occasion. But again, I think my favourite feature has to be them Evans adjusters where we pull the little lever. I just think that and to be fair, the gear shifter in this is really special. It's a polished chrome. The Bentley B on top that you have to depress in order to engage the gear shifter, the park button on the front of it to engage the handbrake. Again, once that handbrake's on, it's an electronic parking brake. Once that's on, in order to take it off, you just put it into gear and accelerate, and it releases it for you. So there's no sort of, I need to knock it off before I can do anything. So, you know, that's nice as well. We're just cruising along here now. We're going sort of 26 mile an hour, and it literally is just cruising on air, and the seats are so comfortable. But the second, let's go around this bus here now, so as we just come round and we get a bit safer, we just accelerate slightly. And I nearly swore then. Right, let me describe what just happened, because you can't get that on camera. It threw me back in my seat, which was nice, and we got, like I said, a 4.5 second 0 to 60 on the thing. So it threw me back in my seat. I was expecting that. What I wasn't expecting, being an SUV, was the front end rose visibly in the air. I know I potentially sound like a child in a sweet shop here, with, you know, but I drive nice cars for the purposes of my YouTube videos and things, so I'm not, this isn't by any means the nicest car I've ever driven or anything like that, but it is a stunning vehicle and an amazing place to be. But I really wasn't expecting the front end to rise up. It was a bit like an American muscle car in Fast and the Furious from back in the day, you know. I'll have to give that another go in a minute. The climate control is very intuitively laid out. I think at first you struggle a bit to think, where is such a button, or has it even got that feature on it, because something's hidden away and out of view, which, as I said, I do like that. Not the mystery of it, but the understatedness of it. The mats and the carpet under your feet feel like you're on a really expensive carpet at home that someone's bought. You know, they're a nice thing to have your feet on. Just think that this sounds stupid, but the noise that the indicator makes is a soft indicator. Sorry, a comfort indicator, obviously. But the noise that indicator makes as you touch it, the audible noise. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but the audible noise that it makes is so nice. It just sounds absolutely stunning. It exudes elegance and class and luxury, this vehicle. And they've done it in a different way to sort of what you'd expect with a Range Rover or something like that, you know, with the big diamond stitch quilted seats, massive big seats. It's not like that at all. We're nowhere near as high up as we would be in a Range Rover, and you don't get in it and think, oh, there's touchscreens galore, look at all these buttons, and you know, a Porsche Cayenne with all the buttons around in the cockpit, around the central console. You know, I like that, but this is just so, it's just so relaxed, and yeah, that indicator just sounds phenomenal. You can, again, we've got controls over the base of the seats heat. We've got controls over the back of the seats heat. We can set it to automatically adjust to get the chosen temperature of the vehicle right, to adjust us to get that. They've thought of everything. But the other thing I like is that underneath the touchscreen, there's a indicator. Underneath the touchscreen, there's a rubber mat where you can put your mobile phone or whatever you want to do, and I think it was leather in the Flying Spur, but it just, again, it's just a nice finishing touch. It really does look nice. The centre cubby holes are nice size, and you've got individual armrests on this centre cubby hole that move back and forward. The whole thing lifts up to store stuff in. But yeah, going back to my favourite Bentley feature is the vent adjuster, the pull and close on the vent adjuster. But I think my favourite feature of this car has got to be the gear shifter. It's something to certainly have a go with. We've got start-stop technology in this vehicle anyway, so it'll knock itself off when we come to the lights, and then start itself back up again. But then we've got 4 different options with regards to sport, comfort, custom, and we've also got a Bentley one. Now, Bentley say that the Bentley mode is the optimum to be in, and that's what I'm driving in now. And what that does is that delivers the optimum amount of comfort and the optimum amount of speed, and I think it really does deliver on that promise. So when you need the speed, touching is there, but when you've got the comfort rolling along, you've not got the comfort, and you're thinking, this is going to be hard to, are we going to have the power at our disposal when we need it? But you're not in the sports mode where everything's nice and tight and raring to go constantly, and you've lost the comfort really. This is just so quiet and laid back, and when you punch it really picks up its heels and goes. So yeah, I think that Bentley mode, that is the place to be. That's the one that you want. It reminds me of the sunblind in this reminds me of that in a Porsche Cayenne. It's a bit of silver trim on the front there, and it's closing. I think personally there's something quite nice about a sunblind, obviously to keep the sun out and keep the heat out of the vehicle if you're going to be parking it somewhere sunny on a sunny day. But I do quite like driving along with the sunblind shut, and people say, well, you've got a panoramic roof, why would you want the sunblind shut? But I think it's nice, and it accentuates the black headlining. I mean, this is leather. This is leather covered, this headlining, which is really, really nice. But it just sort of matches in with that, and I think having it a little bit darker, I just think it's a nice touch and a nice place to be. So that's it for today's video with the Bentley. Hope you've enjoyed that, and if you have, please do consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you all very soon.